This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. For more details, visit gocurrency.com. By Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. By Ashley Furniture, visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com. And by Tom Dinsdale Automotive. Find us on the web at dinsdaleauto.com.
Good evening and welcome to Geneva for this presentation of high school sports on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Michael Shively. Andy Klassen is with me, and we're at Fillmore Central High School for a Class C showdown. And it doesn't get too much better than this in Class C, too. We have a pair of top 10 teams. It's Fillmore Central playing host to Hastings St. Cecilia. The Panthers, they're undefeated and trying to defend their home field. The Blue Hawks, they have one loss, but they're back at full strength. This is for a district title, and it's a little bit of a budding rivalry. Yes. This has the big game atmosphere.
It really does, and you just mentioned it. Everything's on the line here. One loss between these two teams, and that's saying something this time in the season. You can see the wind right now. That's going to play a big factor.
Yeah, let's talk about that wind. There's a high wind warning in effect to all of the counties to our west, not in Fillmore County, but I'm going to call the National Weather Service. They need to add it here. How do you think that plays a factor today?
Well, it might affect the Blue Hawks and their offense a little bit more. They like to put the ball in the air, so they're going to have to lean on the running backs. They're going to have to get their running back or the quarterback involved in that running game. You talk about the Panthers, here the home team. They're dual threat. They love to run the ball anyway. They play a physical brand of football, so it might kind of lend itself to their style of play anyhow.
We got the light show going on behind us. Fillmore Central, they're a team that's on the rise. Coach Gabe Eberhardt has this team playing hard, and it's senior night. They're ready to go.
They really are, and this is a group of seniors that have been with them for a couple of years now. He talked about the growth in your interview you had with him earlier in the week. So a lot of things are coming together. You can tell the light show, the crowd, big game atmosphere, as you mentioned.
Hastings St. Cecilia, they lost to Kearney Catholic just a couple weeks ago, but they were without Quinn Rosno. They were without Jensen Anderson. They're a different team with those guys back.
They really are, and that was a good game anyhow with Kearney Catholic. And then they had a nice bounce-back game a week ago against Wood River to kind of right the ship. And you mentioned getting everybody back, getting everybody healthy. And this time of year, that's such a key to a team's success, later on when we get to this point in the season.
We're looking forward to this one. We have your key players and interviews with the coaches coming up.
The pregame show is brought to you by Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple always. And by Custom Sports. Check them out at customsportsco.com. NCN Sports is brought to you by Boardman Construction, voted best roofer in Northeast Nebraska. By Bank of the Valley, together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill, the best place to be after the game in Columbus.
Talking about your key players ahead of this Class C2 matchup, Fillmore Central hosting Hastings St. Cecilia. With the Panthers, it starts with their senior quarterback, Trevin Stasnis.
Stasnis is that true dual threat type of guy, has over 500 yards through the air, 380 yards on the ground, a QBR rating of 124. Everything you want those senior leaders that we're talking about.
They were keeping track of QBR. We'll do that live throughout the game here. Hastings St. Cecilia, we're going to talk about their quarterback as well. You mentioned dual threat. More than 2,000 total yards for Chase Evans.
Very impressive what he can do with the ball through the air. Already over 1,300 yards, as you mentioned. He also has over 500 yards on the ground. Not sure what his QBR rating is, but averaging over 124 yards or 192 yards in the air, that's pretty good stuff.
Those are your key players. We're getting ready for kickoff here at blustery Fillmore Central High School. Let's visit with the coaches next.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Clint Head with Hastings St. Cecilia with me now. Coach, you got guys back. How does it change your team to know now you're at full strength?
Yeah, I'm excited to have those guys back. We've been banged up the last 3 weeks, and those guys are back in the lineup, and it just brings some excitement. It brings that spark plug. The guys that came back, and they're seniors, and you want them to be able to play in a game like this.
A game like this that's for a district title, it's against an undefeated team. What's the energy like in warm-ups?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. The guys are excited about it. Obviously, like you said, there's a lot on the line. The thing we're looking at is these guys are guaranteed 2 more opportunities to play football in their high school career, and we just want to make the most of that.
Well, Fillmore Central, a team that's really on the rise. From what you've seen, what's led to them improving so much the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, they've really become a physical football team. They do a great job up front. They're coached well. They do a good job of running the football. The quarterback does a nice job of getting those guys ready to go, and that offensive line they have is pretty solid. The same thing defensively. They've got a couple kids in there that really make it hard to run the ball.
It's a little windy out here. How does that affect things?
Yeah, no, it does change things a little bit, but we've been about 50-50 all season, run pass, so we're going to stick with the game plan, and we're probably throw a couple shorter balls, nothing too deep, but we're going to have to be able to win the line of scrimmage, and we talk about that every week coming in. If you don't win the line of scrimmage in football, you're probably not going to win the game.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
You bet. Thank you guys for covering us.
It's Clint Head with St. Cecilia. Stick around. We have starting lineups and kickoff coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
The head coach of the undefeated Fillmore Central Panthers, Gabe Eberhard, with me. Coach, undefeated sounds pretty good before the name. What's been the key to getting to 7-0 this year?
Just a lot of guys doing their jobs, working together. I mean, we've had some tough games here and there that have brought some challenges, but we've always stepped up to the challenge, and these guys are off to a great start. I'm very proud of these guys and how they've played so far this year.
Well, this is the biggest challenge yet. Hastings, St. Cecilia, they got you last year. They're the reigning district champions. What's it going to take to get it done today?
Yeah, that's been our thing all week. Our motto is to be the man, you got to beat the man, and they've been the top of the district the last 2 years, so we got to play fundamentally sound football, limit turnovers, and just play smart all game long to beat these guys.
Right now we're standing and we're looking at a 30-mile-an-hour wind. How does that play a factor today?
It's Nebraska football. I mean, it's great. It's kind of fun. I mean, it'll be a factor for both teams, obviously, in the kicking game and in the passing game, but we play Nebraska where both teams are used to it, so it'll be an exciting night.
Well, Coach, we expect an awesome atmosphere. Thanks for taking time and best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
I have seen other chiropractors in the past, but Dr. Kim really is in tune with your body and your individual needs. I have a really physically demanding job. She keeps my body going.
Being in the military, it's very hard on the body, so I see her quite often after drill weekends. I believe that the body is a machine, and the best way to heal it is being in alignment and letting the body do the work. There's no age too young or too old to see Dr. Kim.
It's hosting season, and Ashley has everything you need to get your home hosting ready for company, with guest-approved essentials starting at just $17 per month or $999.99. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. And right now, you can save on accessories store-wide, from minor refreshes to total overhauls. Ashley has the items needed to make your home functional, fabulous, and friends and family ready. Experience the joy of home suite hosting with help from Ashley in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte.
They're running out on the field. That's the visitors, the Hastings St. Cecilia Bluehawks, going against the Fillmore Central Panthers. We're getting ready for kickoff in this one. They're fired up. Look at that. Haven't quite harvested yet right next to the field, but tonight's not the night for that. It's the night for some Friday night lights. Let's look at your school spotlight, brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. Here we are in Geneva. That's where Fillmore Central High School is in Fillmore County. You turn south at York and go about 20, 25 minutes, and you arrive in Geneva. Fairmont is the community that's consolidated with Geneva. Hastings, St. Cecilia, just to our west, a couple of counties. St. Cecilia, a proud history of athletic tradition. We're stepping aside for the national anthem. When we return, your starting lineups and kickoff.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Boardman Construction, voted best roofer in Northeast Nebraska. By Bank of the Valley, together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill, the best place to be after the game in Columbus.
At Zollner.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
National anthem complete. It is the coldest Friday night game yet this season. And you can see it by looking at those players. Lots going at the long sleeves here this evening. A peek at your starting lineups here ahead of kickoff. Gabe Eberhardt in his 4th season as head coach, leading Fillmore Central. Trevin Stasnis, that's the guy to watch out for. He is the quarterback, but a balanced attack. You'll also see Luke Kimbrough. You'll see Trevor Roach in action a lot, getting carries.
Yeah, and Theo Ball leads the team defensively with 3 sacks, getting those tackles for loss on the other side.
Defense is versatile, according to Coach. He says some of his linemen could play corner in a pinch. They're that type of athlete.
Yeah, and a lot of that is when they're underclassmen, sophomores, they played corner. Now they're playing linebacker. That's just kind of how it goes in Class C1, C2.
Those are your starters for Fillmore Central High School. Hastings St. Cecilia, that one blemish on their roster or on their ledger, but they did get a huge victory over Bishop Newman. Chase Evans was working the connection with Jensen Anderson. You see the defense here, but Evans to Anderson was the key to that win over the Cavaliers, and Anderson has over 700 yards receiving, and he's missed a game.
Yeah, and he's a big play guy. 27 receptions, good for those 714 yards you mentioned. Also has 7 touchdowns, way out in front, leading the team in that category.
Defensively and along the line, look out for Thomas. 3-year starter for this group. Thomas, he's a difference maker, and this is a group that really loves line play. We were standing next to Coach Clint Head. He's a lineman at heart during warm-ups, and they were going at it.
I mean, he was getting me energized the way he was hollering at those guys, and they were responding to him. Get your hips down. Get your pad level where it needs to be. That's good stuff. That's D-line, offensive line play. Both coaching staffs stress it at that.
So the coin toss went the way of Fillmore Central. They elected to defer. So the ball will go to Hastings St. Cecilia first.
Yeah, and both teams are really going to have to keep an eye on the wind. We mentioned it. You kind of saw it in our pregame interviews there where kind of pushing me around a little bit there. Yeah. But a little bit of a cross cut to it. It's a heavy northwest wind, and it kind of churns. So on your screen, it's blowing from left to right and a little bit of crosswind mixed in there.
Well, according to the cell phone app, 49 degrees here, but feels like 42 because of a 25-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest. And we don't really expect it to let up at all. And, folks, we do want to, in advance, give a big thank you to our crew. We have a camera operator, Jonah. He's on top of the press box right now. He's getting the brunt of it, but so are the guys down there field level. And we'll have some hot cocoa or something afterwards.
That'll be on you, right?
Yeah, I kind of just promised something that I don't know if I can deliver. but we are settled in and we are ready for some high school football and some Class C2 football. We're thrilled to feature for you here statewide on News Channel Nebraska. Some teams that don't often get the spotlight. That's what we're all about. And the biggest football game in Geneva in more than a decade.
And you see wind already playing a part, the ball being blown off the tee. Need a holder.
A kick taken from inside the 25-yard line and out to the 30.
Max Rodriguez. Yeah, senior offensive lineman doing a really nice job. Going up, making the catch, and then putting on a decent enough return.
We'll mention this is one of the biggest games in this community since it's become Fillmore Central. You have to go back at least 15 years for them hosting a playoff game. You have to go back 20 years for the last time they beat Hastings St. Cecilia. The Panthers and the Blue Hawks, they don't play against each other every year. They've been in different classes on occasion, but they played they've been played about a dozen times in the last 20 years. And St. Cecilia's beaten them every time since 03.
You can bet everybody around Geneva and the surrounding area, they are jazzed up for this one. A big tackle on the first play.
It's Carson Ashe who comes crashing in for Fillmore Central, then gets the stop and holds Evans behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a few yards.
Just bulldozed his way between a couple offensive linemen. It looked like the play was set up. Ashe was having none of that.
Chase Evans is the starting quarterback. Expect the Blue Hawks to be out of the shotgun most of the time. Evans pumps and rolls out. He's getting pressure. Tries to turn into a running back, but can't escape Carson Ashe. Ashe, a senior, 185 pounds. We don't have the height listed, but he stands out along that line physically.
Total team effort here defensively for the Panthers. The coverage was downfield. That forced Evans to roll out, and then the pursuit got home, as you mentioned. Big play there on second down.
Coach Clint Head for St. Cecilia says it feels like you have a second tailback there with Evans' running ability. Tried to turn into a tailback, but could not turn the corner against Ashe. Now on 3rd down and 15, wants to throw. It's unloaded, and there is the defense again. Jackson Turner, the senior, takes care of business against Quinn Rosno. No gain.
One of the leading tacklers, middle linebacker here for the Panthers. 54, make it 55 tackles on the season there.
A perfect start defensively for Fillmore Central. When you're trying to be a confident team against an opponent that is an established power, got to start strong, and that was ideal.
And a good job getting in your scouting report. 3rd and long, just sitting. Oh, boy.
High punt. This is into the wind and didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. That was a punt that is marked out at the 25. That punt went for no yards.
Yeah, that's tough because you could tell it got hung up in the wind. High vertical punt, maybe not enough on it, but the wind definitely did not help it. And just talking about Fillmore Central there, that sequence of downs. 3rd and long, they were sitting on that screen pass, and right away you had Turner jump it and make the tackle for loss.
This is your first quarter, which is presented by John Henry's. Our family serving yours. So excellent field position starting at the 25 and a give on the first play. Met by the Blue Hawks for a gain of just a yard for the Panthers.
No surprise, Phillips Central going to the run on the early downs. First down. Get things started here for them.
Offensively, Fillmore Central, they like to run it. They have handed the ball off 314 times, now 315 through 7 games, compared to only 37 pass attempts.
Hear a lot of coaches talk about being balanced and this and that. Not maybe the case here for the Panthers. They want to establish the run and then run it very often.
Toss play doesn't go anywhere for Roach. That's Braxton Wiles, the senior defensive lineman with the penetration, swinging Roach down for a loss of a couple of yards.
That's just good play there from the defensive end. Getting out, playing with leverage. You saw that right arm was completely free away from blocker, so he was keeping contained. Didn't give up the edge, strung it out. Going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Braxton Wiles, a guy that gets tons of praise just for his football savvy, his athleticism for the Blue Hawks, has 8 sacks through 7 games. Got the TFL there. Now working out of the shotgun, a toss. Here's Jaron Tweedy. Tweedy turns the corner. He's to the 20 and brought down at the 12-yard line. That is good enough for a first down, converting on 3rd and 12 for a gain of 15.
Fantastic play design. When you had that little counter action, your linebackers had to stay home just in case it was going to come back their way. You had a whole bevy of blockers out in front of their big play guy, Tweedy, picking up some big yardage there, picking up the first down.
Just the 4th carry of the season for the wide receiver, but he's averaging about 25 yards per carry. Luke Kimbrough gets the tote this time, and a lot of white jerseys get penetration to hold him to no gain or maybe even a loss of a yard. Again, Wiles in there, so is Andre Sabatka. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Midway Auto. If you're in the market for a vehicle, check out Midway Auto at thinkmidway.com or visit them in Kearney. 2nd down and 10. Handoff, and Roach tripped up right away, able to fall forward, get maybe a yard if we're going to be generous, and it's 3rd and long again for the Panthers offense.
Yeah, no surprise. St. Cecilia really crowding the line of scrimmage. You have a couple things going on here. A team that's run heavy on offense, and then you're running out of real estate here, kind of backed up against the end zone. That allows those safeties to kind of creep up because they don't have to worry about anything over the top.
They go shotgun for 3rd down and 10. Trevin Stasness, the senior quarterback, runs, and he's hit, does fall forward, gets a couple of yards. Didn't actually go all the way down, but again, Sabatka there to help with the stop. He's a freshman defensive lineman in on a lot of plays already. 4th down and about 5.
This would be about a chip shot, ball right on the 10-yard line, but with that heavy wind, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Panthers go with here.
And the offense is remaining out. The wind is at their back, but you don't see too many field goal tries at this level. So they're in the shotgun. Stasness throws and didn't have the play communicated with Tweedy. Cade Cooper and Jaron Tweedy running crossing patterns there, and one pointing to the other afterwards, saying,
That's
I thought I was
dangerous.
setting the pick for you. No, you were setting the pick for me. And a miscommunication and a turnover on downs.
Tweedy turned into a defender there because that could have been pick 6 all over it. Very aware, went ahead and set that pick against the defender. Otherwise, that might have been Silverhawks going the other way with it. Blue Hawks, excuse me.
So the drive stalls out at the 10 for Fillmore Central. Poor field position for St. Cecilia going into the wind about 5 minutes into this ball game. Evans out of the shotgun, hands off on the end around, and there's no space for Jensen Anderson to operate.
A real short gain or no gain on 1st down. Once again, you're having Fillmore Central doing a really good job stringing those wide developing plays out.
Well, checking out the schedule for these teams, and they've had really nice defensive outings. For Fillmore Central, the most they've allowed in a game this year is 20 points. So no surprise that the defenses are excelling to begin. Evans throws and tipped up, couldn't quite connect. He was looking for Dawson Kissinger, the trusty senior, out of the backfield, but he couldn't squeeze it. It's 3rd down and 10.
Real nice break, and the ball was right there, just unable to, little high, but he also had the defender, who was that? Stasness, the quarterback, making sure there wasn't going to be a second effort trying to haul that ball in.
On 3rd down and 10, Evans keeps it himself, and Evans is hitting the backfield, gets back to the line, and that's all he does. Another punting scenario into the wind. The stop defensively can't be credited to Trevor Roach of Fillmore Central.
So impressed with Fillmore Central thus far when they can get St. Cecilia in 3rd and long. They understand their tendencies. The screen pass, the let's go shotgun with the quarterback draw. They're ready and waiting for these style of plays.
The punter for St. Cecilia, Jensen Anderson, only booted it back to the line of scrimmage last time, takes a few extra steps. This time a low punt, and it takes a Blue Hawks bounce, rolling to the 44-yard line. Much better for Anderson, gets a punt of 34 yards, and the Panthers offense will have to go about 45 to score.
That really was a fantastic adjustment made by the young punter, going ahead and kicking it low, keeping it out of the wind. You mentioned a couple extra steps there. Kind of makes you wonder, is Fillmore Central going to put a little bit of a pressure on that, a blitz on that on down the road?
It's a game of adjustments and a special teams adjustment already made by the Blue Hawks. How they handle their punt and the much better result.
Still another short field to work with here for this Fillmore Central offense.
Looking to throw out of the I formation. Stasnis at the last second able to unload. He was facing pressure from two sides. Got it in the area of Cade Cooper. 2nd down and 10.
And he wanted to go downfield to Carson Ash, his big play guy. It just wasn't there. Credit the coverage from the Blue Hawks down the middle of the field.
Jacob Burns coming around on the right side of the offensive line and putting some pressure on the quarterback Stasnis. Goes under center this time in the split back formation. No wideouts. Stretch play for Roach. The sophomore cuts it upfield. Grabbed at the waist and dragged down by Jaden Almond, the sophomore for St. Cecilia.
Nifty move there, turning something out of nothing, because mentioned it earlier, Blue Hawks defense, they're really crowding the line of scrimmage, only having one safety over the top. That allows them to bring down basically an extra linebacker, outside linebacker, to help out in this run support.
That was actually Quinn Rosno on the tackle. 3rd down and 6 with the ball just short of the 40-yard line. Play action and a sack. Penetration from Braxton Wiles, number 9 on the season for the senior. He's having himself a 2023 campaign, and he gets a big one on 3rd down.
I don't care what kind of offense you operate, pass heavy, run heavy. You do not want to get into 3rd and long versus Hastings St. Cecilia. They pin their ears back, and they are coming for you, and you saw it right there. What did you say, number 9 sack on the season? Wow.
Yeah, Braxton Wiles, he's having himself a year. High snap, handled well. There's the boots. It's an angled punt. Bounces and heads out of bounds inside of the 10-yard line. Cade Cooper with a terrific punt. That's the difference the wind can make. You can pin another team deep in their own territory.
That really was a fantastic punt. You mentioned how he actually quartered it towards the end zone, towards the sideline there, and got him inside the 10-yard line.
That's a 40-yard punt down at the 5-yard line.
Impressive special teams thus far for the Panthers.
We're playing the field position game here in quarter number 1, but in just 5 minutes of time, they're going to flip sides, and the wind going to be at the benefit of the Blue Hawks. And so far, the Panthers they've had the better field position, but no points to show for it.
It's got to be a little frustrating, right? You were knocking on the door, just couldn't seal the deal.
3 players behind the quarterback. Handoff on that heavy set. It goes for a short gain. Dawson Kissinger, that's the big back. And Rosno, the starter. Kissinger, they really want to be the punisher, and he punishes forward for about 4 yards.
Yeah, now you're starting to see head coach Clinton Head and his staff over there for the Blue Hawks getting into his playbook. Okay, we haven't had much success. We're going to have to change things up. We're going to have to adjust. They will do some Maryland eye, extra back, big backs.
Quarterback keeps. There's a penalty marker down. And look at the terrific speed flashed by Jensen Anderson. That's Jensen Anderson who lined up under center, not Chase Evans. But there is a penalty flag sitting at about the 8-yard line. And it's a hold against the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, a little bit of a different play design there, but you also had to put some speed underneath the center there, had multiple backs. A lot of things for these linebackers to try and diagnose, but right away you saw that flag come in, and You had a couple things going there, a hold and an extra gear there as far as a running quarterback under center.
First penalty flag of the game goes against the visitors out of Hastings St. Cecilia. Now it is 2nd down and 10. And Anderson still working as the quarterback. Handed off straight up the middle, and the Panthers have no trouble corralling Kissinger.
Makes you think, is Chase Evans, is he all right, the senior, or did he just enter back into the game? Or maybe they're just trying to give Fillmore Central a different look.
Well, they're still looking for that first down. And it's still Anderson under center. He rolls out to his right. Cannot turn the corner. He's chased out of bounds. Excellent pursuit by Fillmore Central and Joey Stoner.
You said it, the pursuit was there. They're also playing with really good leverage, not working up the field, working out the field, getting to the sideline, not allowing for that running back, the tailback for the Blue Hawks to turn that corner, get upfield, and try and make a play. 4th and long, obvious punting situation once again into this stiff, chilly wind.
Dylan Gaywicki was the one that made the stop, the 140-pound senior, and now seeing what Anderson can do on the punt. He gets off a boomer into the wind. When it reaches its apex, it is knocked down and it's twisting out of bounds. We'll see where it actually left the field of play. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 20, so that's a 10-yard punt. And 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. For the St. Cecilia offense, a unit that's averaging 365 yards per game.
So there's been some bright spots, though, for the Blue Hawks, and it's the defense has been able to hold up and really help the offense out here. And if you're Fillmore Central, you got to be kicking yourself a little bit here thinking, we got the wind to our back, we got these short fields to work with, we got to start taking advantage.
Now, how about this? They started their first drive at the 25, the next drive at the 45, and now at the 20. Stasness fakes the toss to Tweedy, throws the swing route. It's caught by Trevor Roach. Roach breaks a tackle, finding Ford near the 10-yard line and brought down at the 12.
Absolutely love the play design there. The little fake handoff froze the linebacker, allowed Roach to roll out and get some space, and then watch on the replay here. He doesn't try to do too much. He just puts his head down and gets upfield. Doesn't do any of that shake and bake until after he broke a couple of tackles.
Chase Evans on the tackle. So if you were wondering if Evans was hurt and that's why he wasn't in at quarterback, well, he's out there at defensive back. So last possession, St. Cecilia was just going with something different with Anderson under center. 2nd down and 2 now. And faking the give, did not fake out the Blue Hawks. Got away from the initial defender, but Stasness then hit hard by Dawson Kissinger for a loss back to the 17-yard line, a deficit of 5.
Braxton Wiles, the senior, blew it up once again, unable to make the tackle, but just tying up the quarterback, allowed for the pursuit to get home. Look at the linebackers in pursuit, come up, help out, make the play.
It looked like a terrific fake to me, but the Blue Hawks were not fooled, and that makes it 3rd down and 7.
The wily Wiles, you're saying. He wasn't going to take the cheese.
You know, in our North game, Bloomfield versus Wynot, there's a star player that's name is Wiley. Named after Wile E. Coyote.
I like it.
Stasness in trouble, and he goes down again. Another sack for Hastings St. Cecilia. It's Kissinger.
The boys up front are doing a really good job. Obviously, we're talking about all these sacks and tackles for loss, but let's give some credit to these defensive backs. They are in man-to-man, one-on-one coverage. And that time, Chase Evans, number 13, had the vertical route, and he was stride for stride with his man. Didn't allow for anything to be worked down the field.
You know, Braxton Wiles and Dawson Kissinger working together, back-to-back plays. Wiles again blew that up, and Kissinger finished it off. Field goal try. A 36-yarder, it's short. The wind at the back, but that came up 10 yards short. So again, the Panthers unable to take advantage of short field position, and the game remains scoreless after the miss by Dylan Gaywicki.
Boy, and you're seeing both offensive coaching staffs really you know, you could see the different adjustments, the different formations, different quarterbacks entering into the game right now, trying to figure something out against these stout defenses.
And neither side quite sure what they have through the air in this game, with the wind howling in excess of 25 miles per hour out of the northwest. How will that affect throwing the ball? Well, the other side has figured out how to stop the run.
Right.
First down and 10. Can the Blue Hawks manage their first down of the game? They mistime the snap. It hits the motion man, and Evans taken down for a loss by Ashe back at the 10-yard line. A loss of 10, and the Blue Hawks operating behind the 6.
Carson Ashe is having himself a day so far. One of the team leaders with 40 tackles on the season, kind of adding to that early on here.
4 carries for Chase Evans, the quarterback for the Blue Hawks, negative 15 yards.
I had a feeling you were going to throw a number like that out there. It couldn't have been too good.
And this is a prolific offense. And they can do it both ways. And Evans averages more than 4 yards per carry. Handoff, a little bit of space that time, and not enough to get back to the original line of scrimmage for Quinn Rosno on his first carry.
Yeah, going to bring up another 3rd and long. Earlier situations, that really allowed Fillmore Central to get aggressive, almost like a little bit of a rush blitz that can bring one extra free safety, strong safety, roll him down, help out in that run support.
See if Hastings St. Cecilia wants to run a play into the wind. They might have to snap it, but they're running that clock down as much as they can. 3rd down and 15. Here's Evans, wants to pass on the pump fake, unloads. It's bobbled and dropped. Unable to make the grab is Jensen Anderson, the typically sure-handed senior. And the incompletion makes it 4th down and 15.
And
that's
Dylan,
where we go ahead.
Dylan Gwicki with the tight coverage here, and then the big-time hit right in the lower back to jar that ball loose.
And what a look on your instant replay. A hard-fought battle in the conditions here in South Central Nebraska. No score yet on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley. And by Fortify Group Real Estate and Insurance in Geneva, Shickley, and Davenport.
Still looking for that first down, Hastings St. Cecilia. This Fillmore Central defense came to play on senior night. They have forced St. Cecilia backwards. They have negative 9 yards of offense through the first 12 minutes.
Ouch. And you mentioned this is a great offense, a prolific offense for the Blue Hawks.
Anderson gets off a good one. Now he has the wind at his back, and it helps rolling that football all the way to the 42 of Fillmore Central. That's a little bit different look that time. A 43-yard punt for St. Cecilia.
That'll get that average back on track, right?
And more importantly, even than your stats, it sets up Fillmore Central on their own side of the 50 for the first time in the ballgame.
You're exactly right. And they're driving into the wind now rather than having the wind to their back. It does make a difference. Even with a team like Fillmore Central, it likes to, control the ball, run the ball more than pass. It still factors in.
Toss play to the right side to Roach. Roach has to cut it back, and he was stymied. Good linebacker play by Dawson Kissinger. How many times have we said his name defensively so far?
And I thought Roach had the right idea. Rather than just allow this to get strung out because the contain was there, try to cut it back up, but no. Kissinger was sitting there waiting for him.
He's a guy that I like to talk to Clint Head about because he said this is the person that sets the tone for work ethic. One of the hardest workers he's coached, and that's saying something because he's been the head coach at Donovan Trumbull, an assistant coach at Hastings College, and loves what Dawson Kissinger does as a leader. And Kissinger's there for the stop again. Roach able to twist forward for a yard, setting up 3rd down and 8.
Well, it's like having another coach on the field, isn't it? You always hear that coach speak, and they talk of that, but it really does help when your team leaders is also one of those guys that's, first to the weight room, last guy out, high-octane, active guy, practices exactly what he preaches.
Just underway in your second quarter, which is presented by O Street Carpet. That's Steve Carper and the crew over there at O Street Carpet. On 3rd and 8, it's a handoff. Roach has a seam this time, and he's near the line to gain. A flag comes in late. He might be just a couple of inches short.
Looks like he might be a little short, but if there's a face mask at the end there, that'll be more than enough penalty yardage to move the sticks.
That's the best handoff play of the game so far. And on top of it, a face mask penalty. So a 1st down for Fillmore Central, and they navigate back into familiar territory, Blue Hawk territory.
Yeah, one of the biggest plays for the offense, really both offenses here thus far tonight, and then tack on 15 more through the penalty.
On 1st and 10, out of the eye, Stasnis gives again. Roach squeezes through a hole and bursts free for a 1st down.
I mean, Roach, he runs with power. He's a sophomore, but he's 163 pounds, but he can get skinny, Michael, when he needs to. You saw it right there, avoiding a couple would-be tacklers in traffic.
And that sidestep move right there. Whoop. Whoop. Then got past the ankle tackle attempt from Rosno. Evans really saved a touchdown, and the 13-yard rush sets up 1st down and 10 from the 32. Back to Roach, and Roach this time corralled. It's Braxton Wiles, the 240-pounder that gets his big arms around the sophomore and brings him to the grass at the 25. That's a loss of 3.
Yeah, that's really going to be the key here for this Panther offense. They got to get by that first wave of defense. I'm talking about those defensive linemen. They're so active for the Blue Hawks. Once you can get by them, maybe you have a chance, but you saw it right there. Much easier said than done.
Going with that split back formation again. It's a toss play to the right side to Luke Kimbrough. Kimbrough finds the corner. A penalty marker flies. A short gain that would set up 3rd down and long pending that penalty.
Interesting play design. You had Stasnis, the quarterback, actually roll out and was a lead blocker. It's coming back, though. 10-yard. Was that a holding penalty?
Holding penalty, yep. And there's lots of laundry out there. Could there have been 2 penalties? Not sure what that signal means, but they're going to walk that football back and redo 2nd down. Yeah, there's that Stasnis block. He's going out there trying to get a body on Max Rodriguez.
Well, it's never good when the opposing team's captain has a couple of choices of different penalties to choose from, and that's kind of what Fillmore Central ran into right there.
Uh-oh, and a bad snap on 2nd down. Fallen on by Stasnis back to the 37-yard line. That's a loss of 27 yards.
And I don't know if Stasnis was quite ready for that snap. Just a good job just to get back on it. You saw
the pursuit by Wiles there. Braxton Wiles, he might have been thinking 6 the other way if he could have had a step on the quarterback.
And he noticed that, okay, I'm not going to beat the quarterback, but I can hit the quarterback one more time here.
Sure can, and that makes it 3rd down and 40.
Oh, boy, not exactly where you want your offense
So
to
if
be.
you're the Blue Hawks here, it's just don't commit a penalty. Don't do an automatic 1st down penalty. Trick play. There's some space for Cade Cooper. Cooper with the stiff arm. Cooper to the 40, and Dawson Kissinger reps him out of bounds at the 38. So that's a gain of 24, but they needed 40.
I was going to say he's not quite to the original line of scrimmage yet. So big play. Like the reverse, you had a lot of white jerseys bid on that and went to the right, and then that stiff arm, so it really sprung them for another 10, 15 yards. But they're still way behind the sticks here on 4th and long. 4th and 16, I believe.
And time stopped. Gabe Eberhardt wants to think about this. Is there reason to punt here, or do you go for it on 4th down and long? We'll have the answer after this. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
Get rewarded and earn interest for using your My Design Rewards checking account with Midwest Bank. I'm volleyball player Allie Badenhorst, and I get rewarded when I use my debit card grabbing a bite to eat or getting coffee before class. It's easy, simple, and smart. It's not about how much money I have in my account. I get rewarded just for using my debit card at all my favorite places. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Michael Shively, Andy Klassen with you. It's 4th down and 16, a loss of 27 on a snap that got away from the quarterback. Set up this situation, and the Panthers, after the timeout, have decided to punt it away.
I think that's a good decision here. Play that field position. They've had it all game long. Don't give it up.
Now try to get this not to go for a touchback. A low spiraling kick, sideways spiraling, and downed inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. A 25-yard punt, and that sets up poor field position for the Blue Hawks again.
I'll tell you what, Cade Cooper has done a really nice job punting into the wind, with the wind. He's a weapon here for the Fillmore Central Panthers on special teams.
Well, their defense has been up to the task and more. No first downs on 4 possessions for Hastings St. Cecilia. Number 6 in the state.
It doesn't even sound right.
It sure doesn't. See what they can do offensively here. They are not alone in this, getting some score updates from the other area games, and not a lot of scoring here this evening. Handoff play on 1st down for Rosno. He's dragged down for a short gain to the 14. He got a yard. Those other games, Adams Central at McCook, scoreless. Kearney Catholic playing Centura, scoreless. All those games, no offense through one quarter. The wind certainly a factor this evening everywhere across the region.
Yeah, and all coaching staffs across the region and beyond try and downplay it and say we're going to just do our normal thing. No, it really does impact the game.
Out of the shotgun, here's Jensen and make that Evans. It's Evans back at quarterback, skipping past some defenders and bursting free for a 1st down. The first of the game, the top play of the game. Evans a little slow to get up on his own sideline.
Nifty little run there, splitting that 3-4 defense, getting to the second level in a hurry. That was straight quarterback run the whole way. Shotgun look, but everything was run. You had all sorts of bodies moving to their left.
A little slow getting up there.
Yes.
He did miss some plays earlier. We spotlighted in the open how the Blue Hawks have been banged up, but it wasn't Evans who was banged up. It was Jensen Anderson, the wide receiver, and Quinn Rosno, the running back. And now here's Evans running to the short side of the field again. This time he's held for a short gain. Cade Cooper, the senior, with the tackle. Give him a couple of yards there after the 15-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's Fillmore Central. They don't get gashed very often, so once they get beat on one play like you just saw there, they usually can regroup, recenter, and you saw it right there, clamping down on another would-be running play.
Going 3 wide on 2nd down and 8. Evans in the pocket delivers. It's caught. Kissinger hauls it in, but doesn't have much space to work after the catch.
Luke Kimbrough, big-time tackle, one of the extra linebackers in there for this Panther defense as they move into a 3-4D and got those 2 safeties over the top. That really allows for these linebackers, these 4 linebackers to cover, and boy, can they cover. You saw it right there with Kimbrough.
Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Zollner Ford Lincoln, car dealership in Beatrice, Nebraska. Just 1 yard on that pass means 3rd and 7. They want to go to the air again. Evans patient, throws, it's caught, that's Anderson, and it's a first down.
Boy, and you can just tell the connection. You can feel the chemistry between the two. Anderson did a fantastic job working back to his quarterback late in that play, finding the soft spot in that defense. Kind of reminds you of like a Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce type of look, how they'll just kind of, Kelce will just work to an open part of the field. That's what you saw Anderson do right there on 3rd and long.
Somebody was watching Thursday Night Football. I know you were watching just for the Taylor Swift cutaways, though.
That's all me right there.
It's Evans running after the 11-yard completion, and the quarterback able to fight forward for about 3 yards at 2nd and 7.
3-yard gain, bring up 2nd.
That connection with Anderson, Andy. Jensen Anderson now with 28 grabs, but he's averaging more than 26 yards per reception.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
It really is, because you're the volume guy. You're catching a lot of balls for this prolific offense, but you're also a deep threat. You're the big play guy as well. Pretty lethal combination.
3 wide to the strong side of the field, and it's a handoff. It's not going anywhere. 2 black jerseys. Give those boys some black shirts in practice. Jackson Turner leading the stop, the senior for Fillmore Central and the Panthers.
My goodness, Jackson Turner, the middle linebacker, filling the gap right away. And he's one of the leading tacklers with 54 on the year, and you're seeing why. The pursuit and the power, strength that he has, that he brings in the backfield. Almost another tackle for loss.
A loss of 2 to set up 3rd and 9. Evans rolling. Evans going deep down the sideline, and the wind might have helped make that one incomplete. Tough to account for that when throwing the deep ball. Anderson couldn't catch up to it, and it's 4th down and 9 from their own 45.
I think you're spot on there with the wind having an impact there, because Anderson beat his man. He was streaking down the sideline, and I'll tell you what, you just look at the numbers and some of the huddle film from these two guys. Evans doesn't overshoot Anderson very often, and the play was there. It was set up, but I do think that wind might have pushed that long bomb of a pass a little too far.
But by far the best offensive possession for Hastings St. Cecilia. They managed 32 yards and covered 3.5 minutes. Got their first couple of first downs. Anderson's punt. Whirly-birds and takes a huge Blue Hawks bounce, still rolling, and it trickles out the corner of the end zone for a touchback.
Oh, and he's thinking, come on, pursuit team, you got to get down there. You got to help me, man.
Kicked it 55 yards, but it's just going to come back there to the 20. Well, we're going to have a lot of defensive highlights coming up for you at halftime. Those will be presented by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman will help make your jewelry dreams come true.
A little bit of a break there for Fillmore Central. The fact that ball didn't just die at the 1 yard line like it looked like it was going to do.
Trevor Roach, and he breaks free. Roach into the second level, finally tracked down by Rosno after a gain of 15.
Really got to appreciate head coach Gabe Eberhardt and how he's going to, he knows what his strengths are, and it's running the football. So they're not going to get too far away from it. Now they're starting to break some tackles that maybe they weren't breaking earlier in this first quarter, in the first half.
Well, it's senior night, and that means you get to reflect as a player, reflect as a coaching staff, and for a lot of former Panthers, they've really enjoyed their time so much they've come back to be on this coaching staff, and that includes fourth-year head coach Gabe Eberhardt. He's a 2001 graduate of Fillmore Central High School. And he's not alone as a Panther alum. He has several of his teammates, former teammates, on his assistant coaching staff, and one of his former coaches that is now his assistant coach.
And they're one of those teams that actually had some success, felt some success within this program. And he talked about some lean years in between. So it's good to see a bunch of those guys back on the sideline for the Panthers.
That's Coach Commenda, used to be the head coach and assistant coach here, and now working under one of his former players. Handoff that gets maybe another yard, and Roach getting lots of carries. He's already up to 12. And it's 3rd down and long.
And let's give St. Cecilia some credit here defensively. Yes, they gave up the one play, missed a tackle, but boy, they came right back and got back to a 3rd and long here after a couple tackles for loss on 1st and 2nd down.
We have lots to show you. In addition to the highlights, we'll run through some stats and give our thoughts here at the break. That's all coming up in your halftime show, brought to you by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health is their top priority. 3rd and 11, and Gabe Eberhardt forced to burn timeout number 2 here in the final 2.5 minutes of half number 1. There's still no score on your Midway Auto Dealership scoreboard. Interesting end to the half coming up.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the nonstop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
It's a windy evening here in Fillmore County. We're at Fillmore Central High School in lovely Geneva, Nebraska. Happy to spotlight the Panthers. They are 7-0. Terrific start to the season. Trying to do something they haven't done since 2003. That's beat the Hastings St. Cecilia Bluehawks.
Out of the timeout.
3rd down and 11 out of the timeout.
Their own 35. Stasnis,
Handoff play. And Roach going to fight forward for the first down.
See that little hesitation, the vision that he runs with in traffic. Michael, I'm telling you, that's a special type of back they have here at Fillmore Central. And the power he brings with that little stutter step allowed a little window to open up for him.
A really nice block coming in as well. Let's see if I can figure out who that was. Might have been Jackson Turner, who, number 53 there, helped seal that crease and allow a 12-yard burst for Trevor Roach. He's now managed carries for double-digit yardage in 3 of his last 6 totes. Might as well give it back to him. But this time he's figured out Quinn Rosno gets the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Point of attack won once again from this St. Cecilia defensive front. It just kind of, you might get us once, but you're not going to turn around and do the same thing and get us again.
So Roach came into this game, and you might think because he has 14 carries that he was the number 1 back by a lot. No, he actually has the 3rd most carries on this team, trailing Luke Kimbrough and trailing the quarterback Trevin Stasnis, but Roach the featured back here tonight.
Gets the snap, tosses,
A toss. This time it is Kimbrough. Kimbrough being patient. Hit by Anderson and goes forward for about 3 yards.
I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good run there from Kimbrough because he knew he wasn't going to get the edge. He knew he wasn't going to get in the outside, so he allowed, you mentioned the patience, allowed for some blocks to get set in front of him, and he just worked upfield, took what he could get.
Kissinger helps clean that up after Anderson made the first hit. It's 3rd down and 7, under a minute to play, and just 1 timeout left for Fillmore Central if they're able to convert this.
Kissinger has been everywhere on the defensive side here tonight.
No doubt about it. Here's Roach, and he's smacked. Did you know that was going to happen? Dawson Kissinger again.
I didn't know it, but if I was a bet man, I would have bet on it the way he's been flying around and finding the ball here tonight.
And a timeout taken by Hastings St. Cecilia. They want to preserve the final 34 seconds, see if they can make a play, because this punt, if it is a punt, would be going into the wind. We'll step aside for a short second on NCN.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
So 1 completion here for Fillmore Central to 8 yards to Trevor Roach. We didn't expect him to pass it so much, or too much, but going into the wind, they have not gone to the air yet this possession. We'll see what happens on 4th down and 3 because the offense is out there for the Panthers.
I was wondering during that timeout, thinking, no, let's not do a punting situation. Let's not allow Hastings St. Cecilia to make a play in special teams.
Stasness trying to draw the defense off sides. It doesn't happen, and Coach Eberhardt takes a timeout. They only brought the offense out to try to draw the defense off sides, and to no avail.
Good discipline there for St. Cecilia.
Still no score with 38 seconds remaining on your Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
I still wouldn't be shocked here if Fillmore Central decides to just go ahead and go for it rather than put the ball in the air, and we've seen some shaky punts already into the wind, and not allow Hastings St. Cecilia to try and make a play through special teams, because neither offenses, let's be honest, hasn't really been working tonight with this heavy wind, and let's give some credit to both of these defensive units as well, playing to their strengths here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fillmore Central just keeps the ball on the ground and doesn't even allow the scenario for a punt return to develop here.
There's 38 seconds, and the offense is out. Good call. I formation for 4th down and 3. Stasness gives, and the first down managed. It's Roach again. He gets the 3 yards he needed, and not much more before he's spun down by Wiles.
Boy, it was close, but that extra little oomph at the end there, Michael, I think got him across the line. They're going to give him the first down.
And somehow just 1 second went off the clock. So 37 seconds to work with, 1st and 10. They're just now moving the chains, and we'll have to pause and wait for that. Now the clock starts to go. No timeouts left for the Panthers. They spike it with 30 seconds. So 1 second ran off there on the play, and then 7 in between.
That's like the caught back up. It got back right.
And it's 2nd down and 10 now from the 41.
Interesting spot here. You mentioned how Fillmore Central hasn't put the ball in the air very often here. We know that they can, though. Stasness has really good stats, averaging over 16 yards per toss on the season. I like his touchdown to interception ratio, 4-1. A lot of good things when they do elect to put the ball in the air.
Coach Eberhardt says he likes to pass, just hasn't had to much this year. It's an end around. Here is Cade Cooper, and Cade Cooper is corralled by Chase Evans.
Boy,
after
Evans,
no gain.
He had to make that tackle. Had he not made that tackle, there was some room to run. Kind of surprised that Cooper didn't try to bounce out outside and get to the edge.
Likely the final play of the half. It's a handoff. Space for Roach, and he's hit and knocked backwards at the 34-yard line. He got 7 yards, and that brings us to the end of the first half. A defensive struggle in the wind. A couple of top 10 Class C2 opponents, and they're all knotted up. Nothing. Who's going to bend first? We'll talk about that at halftime. We have your highlights, and we'll set you up for third quarter action. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services. The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports.
It's hosting season, and Ashley has everything you need to get your home hosting ready for company with guest-approved essentials starting at just $17 per month or $999.99. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. And right now, you can save on accessories store-wide, from minor refreshes to total overhauls. Ashley has the items needed to make your home functional, fabulous, and friends and family ready. Experience the joy of home sweet hosting with help from Ashley in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
There's a look at the stands. Some folks heading back, getting a little warm here at the break because you can tell just by looking at the attire, it's a cold night here in South Central Nebraska.
This is a heavy jacket with a blanket around it type of night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want something that you can put on that metal bleacher.
Yes, an additional blanket to sit on for sure. And yeah, the line to get some hot cocoa, that's building by the second behind the Crow's Nest.
I'm Michael Shively. He's Andy Klassen. Glad you could be with us for some Friday Night Lights high school football, a top 10 matchup. Number 6, St. Cecilia. Number 7, Fillmore Central. No offense yet, but we do have some highlights to show you. Let's take a look at your halftime highlights, brought to you by Sartor Heyman. Sartor Heyman will make your jewelry dreams come true, and right away it's defense. We saw a lot of that from Braxton Wiles of St. Cecilia.
Yeah, he's been a disruption in the backfield all night long for Fillmore Central trying to deal with.
Got a positive passing gain there to Trevor Roach, an 8-yard catch, the biggest passing play of the game for either side.
Yeah, not much has been done through the air, and then we have a little bit of a mix-up here. And number 81, we've called his name a couple of times here, Carson Ashe, making some plays.
Trevor Roach did find some running room. That was one of the best of his 15 carries. Looking at a big run here from Cade Cooper, a 24-yard jaunt, the biggest play of the first half.
Yeah, a little misdirection there. Got the defense leaning to the left, and then come right back to the right.
Chase Evans finally found some space. He'd gone nowhere but backwards and got a 15-yarder there. He finished with 7 carries for 7 yards in the first half. Had that completion, but for just 11 yards. So 12 passing yards total for Hastings St. Cecilia. And their total yardage, 25 yards at halftime.
Yikes. And in the pregame we talked a lot about both offenses, and rightfully so, right? I mean, Hastings St. Cecilia, they get it done through the air. They have a nice rushing game that complements their passing game. And then you talk about the Panthers of Fillmore Central. That is a well-oiled, rushing the football machine. But tonight, in the weather conditions and these two stout defenses, Hastings, St. Cecilia, they've really been able to stack the box, bring an extra guy down. They usually only have one safety over top, so they're bringing an extra linebacker down, and it's really been able to contain this rushing attack from Fillmore Central.
Well, we mentioned both of these teams in the top 10 in Class C2. We have a look at your top 10, your News Channel Nebraska rankings released every Monday morning. Follow us on social media, NCN Sports on Twitter and on Facebook, and we'll put those out every week. I vote on some of the classes, and I think this is a pretty fair representation.
Yeah.
Norfolk Catholic with victories over Battle Creek, Oakland Craig, and Ord. You can't argue for anybody else at the top of this class, but I don't think that means that's an automatic shoo-in that they win the class.
No, and right now they're winning 7-0 over Wayne. That's early in the first quarter, so things off to a good start there for Norfolk Catholic. You also have Bishop Newman. Got to call them earlier this year. They're taking care of business, up 42-0 at the end of the half over at David City.
So I vote in the C1 and B rankings after this week. Now that I've seen the C2 teams, I'll put my money in there.
Right.
And I will flip around St. Cecilia and Newman because St. Cecilia beat Bishop Newman.
Right.
And that's the only loss for the Cavaliers. I would have put the Blue Hawks in front of them, but Fillmore Central has something to say about these rankings themselves. This is their first time that they've crept in them in the last several seasons, and if they get a win here, they should vault up the rankings.
Right, so then by that thought process, maybe they sneak up to 3 or 4 with St. Cecilia right behind them. And yeah, you really could. And there's another top 10 matchup out there, Ord versus Broken Bow, all knotted up at the halftime break.
Oh, and that one's a bloodthirsty rivalry between those teams, Ord and Broken Bow. Lots of awesome football in central Nebraska, northeast Nebraska. We have it covered for you on NCN. Some final halftime thoughts coming up after this.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports for highlights, interviews, rankings, and more.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
It's football weather. At least maybe for run first teams.
Right.
We talked so much early in this season. Well, maybe it felt more like August than September or early October.
Yeah.
Certainly feels like the fall now, and so much so that they actually had to make some adjustments in Hastings today. That's the site of the state softball tournament. There were 3 games scheduled to happen today. They said, we're not going to bother with the wind. Could you imagine trying to catch a fly ball out there today? They're going to take and play those semifinals tomorrow at 11.
Very good. That's a good adjustment being made by some officials on the fly there, and that really has your player safety and the betterment of the game in mind there. But stiff, cold wind. That's Nebraska football, right? That's October football. These guys, you're going to strap it up and you're going to get out there.
Well, speaking of the softball, do want to give a shout-out to the St. Cecilia Hawkettes. Terrific effort this season. They were the #1 seed in Class C2, won a couple of games, got a victory over Gothenburg, a win over Freeman, fell to Bishop Newman and Ashland Greenwood, knocked out of the state tournament, but another spectacular season for the Hawkettes. Fillmore Central, they had a really good softball season as well. They co-op. It's Fillmore Central Exeter Milligan Friends. Your friendly FCEMF, and they made a district final themselves. So the first fall sport to finally wrap up, softball. Great job by all of those athletes. And we're 1 week away from the state cross-country meet in Kearney.
Yes.
So fall sport's coming to a close.
Yeah, and it always feels like it goes by so fast. And here we are in week 7, 8 in football, and you just can't believe it. You just think back to that first game and how hot it was, and you just got to think, no, it goes by in a flash, and before you know it, the October air is here, and it feels like Nebraska football.
Clint Head leads his Hastings St. Cecilia Blue Hawks out of the locker room, still waiting for Fillmore Central to emerge. They're going to be fired up. A district title is on the line. We're all tied up. Nothing. The third quarter coming up next on News Channel Nebraska.
After 77 years of serving Lincoln, what else is there to say other than thank you for making our family-owned business part of your family? Everyday life and style are what LG appliances are designed for. During Schaefer's 77th anniversary, you can take advantage of LG rebates, free local delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing to improve your family's lifestyle with LG. Schaefer's, your local, family-owned tradition for 77 years.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters. NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
If you're thinking about becoming a John Deere technician, receive a debt-free degree from Landmark Implement. With the John Deere Student Tech Program, receive reimbursement for up to 100% of college tuition, fees, books, and room and board, plus a $5,000 tool stipend. Students are paid a competitive hourly wage for their work hours and are guaranteed employment at a Landmark location after graduation. Visit landmark.careers to find out more about the John Deere Student Tech Program and become part of the Landmark difference.
I'm glad you could join us for second half action on News Channel Nebraska. If you want to join in, you can do so online at NCN Sports on Twitter. That's where you can find us. Send us a photo of your cozy living room setup, and we won't show it to our crew who's out there braving the elements.
I always do get a kick out of the responses kind of showcasing their man cave and take that home thinking, we could do an upgrade at home too here, We got some inspiration here to work with.
Yeah, well, lots of live updates from games there on social media. We'll have the highlights coming up online. Of course, post-game interviews. That'll be with the winning coach and player of the game, and no way to tell yet which side has the edge. We're all scoreless through the first 24 minutes of football.
No, and we've been talking a lot about the wind and the cold conditions, and, that's definitely at play here. But let's credit some defensive efforts here. Really, both teams. It just kind of feels like who's going to give up that first big play. And I really don't know which way you lean on it. Both defenses have been showing out here tonight.
74 yards of offense for Fillmore Central, 25 for Hastings St. Cecilia. Field position won by the Panthers there. They might be a little disappointed that they don't have the lead.
Boy, I think it was that first or second possession. They got the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line and nothing to show for it. That's tough. That kind of sticks with you as an offensive unit. Let's see if they can put that behind them and put together a drive here to start off this third quarter.
You don't even bother without trying to get it helped out there on the tee. You got to send the guy over to put the finger on it. Delayed run room there for Tweedy. He took a second to get going and then burst forward. He gets to the 35, and the Panthers will start this possession there at the beginning of the third quarter.
No surprise, leading tackler Dawson Kissinger with the tackle on the special teams unit there. He had 72 on the season, way out in front, leader as far as tackles go. And that's what you want your linebacker to be, in that realm. He also has 11 tackles for loss on the season. You can bet he's added to that here tonight.
Terrific athletic family, the Kissingers. Long-time family of success at Hastings St. Cecilia. Got a couple of softball players right now, too. Handoff, and Roach able to weave his way to the 40. That's a good way to start the half, a 5-yard gain for the Panthers.
And he saw it was tough. He had to run with a little bit of patience there, allow for those pulling guards to get out in front of him. Kissinger on the tackle once again, but that's a good first down play for this Panther offense.
And if we don't announce who the tackler was, just assume it was Dawson Kissinger.
I like that.
The offense approaches the line of scrimmage, now stands back up. And they're looking at the helmet of a Blue Hawk. Will he have to take a play off? No, Sabatka stays in the game. They get it figured out. And on 2nd and 5, Roach stays between the tackles. Roach moving the pile. There's 4 Blue Hawks trying to get him to the grass. They finally do it at the 49-yard line. They're into St. Cecilia territory.
Roach showing you some of that power, that lanky frame, but 163 pounds, what he can bring to the table, taking tacklers with him for another 2-3 yards there. But it moves the sticks, that little where he changed directions. That's what got him that extra 3-4 yards to pick up the first down.
Oh, tough to believe. He's just a 10th grader. Toss play. This is Luke Kimbrough, and Kimbrough is hit hard. That's Quinn Rosno coming up to make the stop for a gain of just a yard.
Still some big collisions happening at the line of scrimmage between this defensive line for the Blue Hawks and this Fillmore Central offensive line. They're big, they're physical. We've heard about that. We've seen that. But thus far, the defensive line for the Blue Hawks have been doing their job.
Already 1.5 minutes gone on this possession. This ground and pound attack of Fillmore Central continues. Trevor Roach again to the second level. Only had one guy to beat before he could have cut that back, but a good tackle made by St. Cecilia and J.J. Schaefer.
Well, that was a lot of pressure on your lone safety there. Schaefer doing a really nice job wrapping up and not allowing him a free pass, maybe to the end zone there. He was able to tie him up and let pursuit help him out, take him down.
Just inches short of the first down marker on that 9-yard rush. I formation, a third down and less than a yard. Stasnis keeps it himself, puts his head down, and gets a few yards on the QB sneak. This is your third quarter, which is presented by Husker Rehab. Treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms.
Boy, Stasnis picked up a couple of 3, maybe 4 yards on that quarterback sneak. Maybe they just want to go back to that.
3 yards in a cloud of dust is success in this game. One of the most impressive drives of this contest so far, and it's the opening third quarter possession. Getting a glancing blow there by Kissinger and able to fight it off, maybe get a yard. Trevor Roach having to work hard for everything he gets.
I mean, that almost felt kind of like a statement type of play on first down. You put in your jumbo package. Nobody split out, extra tight ends in. That also allowed for St. Cecilia to make their defensive adjustment. I don't think there was a single defender more than 6 yards away from the line of scrimmage on that first down.
A drive that started at the 35 has journeyed to the 36 on the other side. Play action. Stasness goes deep, has a wide open player. It's Cade Cooper, caught at the 10 and in for a 36-yard score. The first points of the game belong to the home team, the Fillmore Central Panthers.
That's what this offense is all about, Michael. The play action pass. That's why they went jumbo formation on first down. They gave you a similar look on second down. The defense bit on it. There was nobody over the top. There was no safety help. Wide open as you had Cade Cooper get beyond his guy, and you were able to just lay one up there, get it out, and allow your receiver to run underneath and then to the end zone. The Panthers strike first here tonight.
Gaywicky nails the extra point, and that sailed a good 20 yards with the wind behind it beyond the goalpost. It's 7-0 on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Fillmore Central scores on the opening drive of the second half.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
The first receiving touchdown of the season for Cade Cooper. And the senior puts his squad in front of Hastings St. Cecilia to start the second half.
You know, I mentioned Kimbrough there. He had a fantastic block that allowed for the time to develop, and he had to make it coming across from that tailback position.
Booming kick with the wind behind, still playable from the 9-yard line. Jensen Anderson, or is that Rosno on the far side? Tracked down, good pursuit. Jackson Turner with the stop for Fillmore Central. Let's get another look at that touchdown pass. Good fake. Everybody bit. He was wide open.
Mentioned it just a couple plays prior, how every single defender was within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. You can tell the offensive coaching staff for Fillmore Central, they took notice of that as well. Got them biting with the play-action pass.
And you could tell they were pretty darn fired up to break the ice and get that first touchdown. Terrific adjustments made at halftime by the Panthers offense. 65-yard drive. About 10 yards short of their entire yardage total from the first half.
Couldn't have asked for a better start to open up the third quarter. Fantastic scoring drive to open things up here.
About 3 yards on first down for St. Cecilia. They're going to try to respond and get something going on their own. It's been even rougher sledding for the Blue Hawks offense.
Yeah, a lot of negative plays on first and second down. Hasn't allowed for much success for this offensive unit.
Evans has 2 wideouts on a counter. He keeps the ball on the read option, and Evans is smacked. That's Trevin Staffness, and the ball came loose.
Staffness
They're
has
saying
the ball.
He was down, according to the official. The umpire comes in and makes that decision. Down and fought up to the 31-yard line here.
We've seen that a couple times, though, from Stasness. The way he rolls up from that safety position, he is not afraid of contact. The quarterback on the other side, not afraid to deliver a blow on the other side.
Now 3rd down and 7. They're fortunate to keep the football. Going over the middle, Kissinger. Kissinger stood up. He looks like he got it, according to that spot.
Boy, it looked like he was a little short, but how about Chase Evans? So cool in the pocket. Actually looked off his defender, then came back to a secondary read along the middle, and it kind of felt like that's what he was looking at all along. He was looking for that underneath route, trying to just move the sticks.
Let's see this play again. See if that ball might have come out. When that comes out, I think he was down.
Yeah.
And that pass was enough to move the sticks on the 7-yard completion to Dawson Kissinger. That is just the third, make that the fourth completion for St. Cecilia this game.
We're seeing Chase Evans do a little bit of everything for this Blue Hawk offense early on here. The run that he paid the price for at the end there, but then also really nice completion. Mentioned it, how he went through his progressions and found his receiver at the sticks.
No surprise, Clint Head trusting his senior quarterback. He was a running back last season, so his first time as the full-time starter at QB comes in his senior year. Handoff, and Rosno is eaten alive, a loss of a couple.
I mean, any of these plays are kind of slow developing where you got a little misdirection, then a handoff. That's just too much time for an aggressive defensive unit like you're seeing here from the Panthers. You had a host of black jerseys meeting in the backfield that time.
Kimbrough was in on that stop. You saw Marky Hinrichs, the 280-pound senior, also in the area. Now 2nd and 12. Anderson comes in motion, the speedster. Evans, pump fakes, finds Anderson, incomplete. Good coverage by Tweedy. Tweedy might have got a fingertip on that, but then it banged off of the chest of Anderson.
Tweedy rolled the dice, and he's lucky he didn't pay the price. Let me tell you, Michael, he cuts in front of this one. He had INT thinking the whole way. Might have touched it, but it got through. And you can believe Anderson's kicking himself thinking that was a touchdown.
Oh, an all-state caliber wide receiver there. He would have had a 65-yard touchdown reception if he could have hauled it in. Instead, it's 3rd down and 12. Blitz coming. It's picked up. Evans, now he's running out of time, and they bring him down from behind. Another sack for St. Cecilia, Hunter Lucas.
Big play for Lucas, and that's really a team effort across the board for the Panthers. The coverage was man-to-man. He had 3 vertical routes. That's tough to defend, I'm telling you what, Michael. And Evans bought some extra time, but no one could break free. More than enough time then for that defensive line and linebackers to close in and record another sack.
That's the 4th time that Chase Evans has been corralled behind the line of scrimmage. And now punting into the wind, the Blue Hawks.
Flags fly.
This one's a pretty good effort. Takes a bounce around the 41, so that would be a 31-yard punt pending the flag.
If it's offsides,
it's on the offense.
Yeah, you're going to make them punt it again here, I believe.
Why wouldn't you? Take that 5 yards back and into the wind. It could be disastrous on a punt.
And we've seen that happen earlier in the game where St. Cecilia really had to make some adjustments because they were trying to do the high booming punt, and it was getting cut up by the wind. Kind of had to go with more of a lower style, make the adjustment so it doesn't get caught up in this stiff 25, 30-mile-per-hour wind we're getting out of the northwest.
Chase Evans Jensen Anderson is the punter for St. Cecilia. Standing at his own 10, punting into the wind. Gets the ankle-high snap. Unloads another good one. It takes a hop to the 45-yard line. So a change of about 5-10 yards of field position. And Fillmore Central gets the ball with the lead.
Still like the decision there to make them redo it again. You're kind of stacking the odds in your favor because so many things can go wrong in a punting situation such as that. And then you add the wind into that. As we mentioned, coming out of the north into the face of the punter. I like that decision to make them redo it.
First down and 10. It was a steady dose of Trevor Roach until it was play action. And here's Roach again, and Roach is tracked down. Who was that?
Kissinger once again, just pinning his ears back, splitting the gap, getting it downhill into the backfield.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by United Healthcare, where small towns matter, including Geneva, Nebraska. They are fired up tonight in Geneva. Got a really good crowd on hand, standing room only. Despite the cold temperatures, they know this is the biggest football game in this facility in 15 years. Stasnis, he's starting to get in trouble here. Thought about the lateral there and takes the sack instead. Good pursuit by St. Cecilia's Thomas.
And this is a really good decision here from Stasnis to just take his medicine, eat the loss. He kind of has that football out there like a loaf of bread, but then secures it at the end, takes the sack, doesn't want to give up a fumble or anything like that or throw the ball in harm's way down the field.
So after a loss of 3 on the rush, they get a sack for a loss of 7, and it's 3rd down and 20 for a run-first team. That's a tough down.
It really is, and now you're seeing an extra safety in the game here for St. Cecilia. They're not going to allow anything over the top again.
Handoff, Roach breaks 1 tackle, can't escape the second. Gets to the 40 for a gain of 5. It's 4th down and 15.
So good defensive bounce back stand there for St. Cecilia.
Just the second 3 and out for this Fillmore Central offense. They can't follow up their opening half touchdown. And the Blue Hawks will have an opportunity in the final few minutes of the 3rd quarter.
And it wasn't just a 3 and out. It's 4th and 15. Just about every single play went backwards for the Panther offense.
The Cooper punt. He gets off a towering punt, and it's caught. Jensen Anderson fair catches at the 22-yard line.
Excellent job just calling for the fair catch there, getting underneath of it. You saw the late adjustments because that wind was pushing that ball down the field.
Better anybody else than me out there to try to catch punts today. That's a job that I do not envy.
Jensen looked like he had a pretty good handle on it there.
Jensen Anderson in a featured role as the star wideout on this team. Chase Evans at quarterback. This is a group that not a lot of folks thought would be undefeated. They're 1 loss, but thought they might have lost to Bishop Neumann. Thought this team maybe wouldn't be as good as the undefeated regular season group last year. Oh, Evans. Oh, my. Fillmore Central saying, stop talking about St. Cecilia. Luke Kimbrough and company get another tackle for loss.
Once again, that's just a fantastic job from Fillmore Central coaches getting into the scouting report, understanding when they're going 3, 4 wide shotgun. A lot of times that's to get an isolation one-on-one look for the running back or running quarterback. And it just feels like the Panthers, they are sitting on it. They're ready for it.
Now on 2nd down and 13, Evans in the pocket. It's picked off, intercepted by Trevor Roach. Roach into the red zone. A late penalty marker, but that won't negate a pivotal interception in Blue Hawk territory.
Roach did a fantastic job just reading the quarterback's eyes, sliding from right to left, waiting to jump that pass. Oh, just a terrific job. Yeah, I mean, you had bracketed coverage there, and the quarterback, Evans, just didn't look him off.
Well, that has been one of the small issues for Chase Evans, who has amassed 2,000 total yards, but that's his 8th interception of the season, and this one costly because it gives Fillmore Central good field position. Not as good as it would have been because of that 15-yard penalty after the play.
Yeah, you talk about Evans. If there's one bugaboo, it's those interceptions. It used to be a little closer to a 2-to-1 ratio. It does have 13 touchdowns through the air and a ton of yards, but just that's a little too many turnovers. Talk to any coaching staff. They really want to trim that down.
And now the Panthers want to take advantage and make it a 2-score lead with 2.5 to go in the 3rd on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Give it to the guy who had the pick. It's Trevor Roach. The stutter step inside the 10. Finally brought down at the 5. The touchdown saving tackle from J.J. Schaefer.
What can't you say about Trevor Roach? Like you mentioned earlier, hard to believe he's only a sophomore. This play was designed to the left. He saw daylight to the right and had the speed and the vision to get there, Michael, and make it happen.
24-yard gash for Roach. Give it to him again, right?
Eberhardt's done a really nice job just feeding the hot hand here tonight.
They give it to Kissinger. Kissinger grabbed at the line and pulled back. That's Rodriguez there again.
Or was that Kimbrough?
It was Kimbrough who had the carry and Rodriguez on the stop. And so they did not give it to Roach.
Roach was the lead blocker that time, so he was still heavily involved as they're down to the 5-yard line here.
I formation. Kimbrough is the fullback. Roach is the tailback. He gets the carry, and he's hit hard and dropped by Dawson Kissinger at the 2-yard line. He gets a few, and it's 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, picked up 3 yards, and boy, when he's stuck that left foot in the ground and shot upfield, looked like he was going to threaten the goal line. Credit the Blue Hawk defense for really closing in. Good pursuit from that second line of defense. Those linebackers have been so active all night long.
Well, you figure probably not kicking a field goal. They tried one in the first half, didn't go well. That was the first field goal attempt of the season, but hey, you could break it out if you don't get it here. The point after try worked out well for Gaywicki. But first 3rd down and goal from the 3. Handoff, Roach. Roach is stopped. He's fighting forward. Lots of work after he was stacked up. Both sides enter the scrum and try to change the result. They can't do it. It's a 1-yard gain, and the ball is at about the 2, 4th and goal. It is 4th down and goal.
And the score clock's saying it's at the 1-yard line. You mentioned might be 2. It's a long 1 yard for sure.
Under center, Trevin Stasness, the senior quarterback, tosses, but before the play, a timeout taken by Gabe Eberhardt of Fillmore Central. Just a split second before a toss to the short side of the field.
I think we're seeing a little gamesmanship here from the Fillmore Central coaching staff, thinking, all right, let's show them toss, see how they're going to defend it, then we'll regroup and decide, are we going to stay with a wide play, or are we going to try and pound it right up the middle?
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and visit the dealerships in Kearney. I'm Michael Shively. He's Andy Klassen. 4th down and goal with 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The way this game has played out, 2-score lead almost feels insurmountable.
I was going to say, this really does feel like has a lot of gravity to it, doesn't it? If Fillmore Central can punch this one in, there's going to be a lot of work for this St. Cecilia offense to get back on track here and try and get something going.
This is the type of moment. This is the reason why you play high school football. A chance to put your team up 2 scores, do something you haven't done in 20 years as a program, beat Hastings St. Cecilia. This would go a long way if they punch it in. Stasness has stood up. He twists forward, reaches the football across the goal line. Touchdown, Panthers.
Stasness was not going to be denied. He was wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, spun out of a would-be tackle, and then his length, the strength that he has in those legs kept him churning, got across the line, and he didn't get it by much, but he was definitely across the line.
Met at the line and pushed back, but he was able to spin around and reach that football out. A savvy move by the 12th grader. And on senior night, Trevin Stasness helps make it 14-0. Fillmore Central feeling good with 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter on the Midway Auto Dealership scoreboard.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
Touchdown on 4th down and goal from the 1. Trevin Stasness punches it in, and now Hastings St. Cecilia has a lot of work to do. They're sent to receive this kickoff with only 6 seconds remaining on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard in the 3rd quarter.
This is where that defensive unit, they can't take their foot off the gas. They got to keep that pressure that they've had all game long because this offense can put 3 scores up in one period.
Dylan Gaywicky with the kickoff. Quinn Rosno works up to the 25-yard line, and that takes us to the end of quarter number 3. Fillmore Central, 12 minutes away from their biggest win in more than a decade. And a big reason why, Trevin Stasnis with that quarterback sneak. Here's a look at it. Initially stymied, twist forward, and by the nose of the football, it's 14-zip Panthers.
Actually took that linebacker with him.
My brother RJ had me believe that he knew exactly what he was taking, but I don't think that during those times he was ever necessarily sober. We lost RJ at 32 to a prescription opioid overdose.
Hastings St. Cecilia, the perennial power, reigning district champions after an undefeated regular season in 2022, but they are on the ropes here on the road against Fillmore Central, and a poor start to the fourth quarter, an incomplete pass. That Evans to Anderson connection hasn't quite been there tonight.
Not with the consistency that we're used to seeing, right, for the Blue Hawks and this high-octane offense. Pass was a little high, don't get me wrong, but it found both the hands of Anderson, and that's just kind of been the night it's been for the St. Cecilia offense.
The Blue Hawks have not scored. First downs have been tough to come by, and it's because of this ferocious Panther defense. The pursuit coming that time, and it comes late. Luke Kimbrough.
Yeah, not giving up on the play. His quarterback tried to reverse field and get back to it. Kimbrough's like, nope, I'm not giving up on this one. I'm going to find you.
Credit that defense downfield, nobody open, and it sets up 3rd down and 13.
Stasnis, mentioned him at quarterback. He's going to be your single set safety over the top here.
Evans deep over the middle. It's caught at midfield, breaking free from one tackle to the 40-yard line of Fillmore Central. A huge completion to J.J. Schaefer.
Schaefer, just a fantastic job here, working that post route across the middle of the field. What
There's
a pass,
penalty
too.
flag. There's an ineligible man downfield. I never saw the flag come out, but it did. And the officiating crew calls ineligible man downfield, and that negates what could have been a game-changing completion.
Boy, it did feel like the play that this Blue Hawk offense needed to kind of break through, take the top off the defense a little bit, get some running room to work with. Schaefer did a really nice job after the catch, breaking a tackle as well, and boy, it's all coming back.
It would have been about a 35-yard gainer. Instead, it's going backwards. That flag now looking at it at the 26. The side judge threw it when he saw an ineligible man downfield.
It's a long developing play, right? In a rushing style type of game, those guys, those big fellas up front, they like to work upfield. I think that's kind of what happened.
I believe that's just the 3rd penalty in this game. It sets up 3rd down and 18 for St. Cecilia, down a couple of scores in the 4th quarter. A 4-wide receiver formation. Haven't seen much of that on a windy night in Geneva. Sidearm pass. It's caught at the 25-yard line. That's Kimbrough getting the tackle against Kissinger. Gain up to the 22 as a pickup of just 5 yards.
Well, so you had Fillmore Central defer to start the game. They won the toss. So what did St. Cecilia do? They took the wind, and they were thinking ahead so they would have the wind in the 4th quarter. Much easier to pass the ball with the wind to your back, and that's what they're going to have here this entire 4th quarter to close things out. We're going to see a little bit more passing from this offense, I think, next time they get their hands on the ball.
was actually a 9-yard completion, but still it's 4th down and 9, and the punt unit is out. Punting away with 10:25 to go. Takes a Blue Hawks bounce, keeps rolling. That's getting more than 20 yards on the hop, and it still rolls down to the 17-yard line. A terrific punt for St. Cecilia. You're watching fourth quarter action brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer.
Yeah, and a lot of things happening in, a bang-bang type of play there, but your return man, that's why you got to go up and call for that fair catch, giving up so much yardage off the bounce after the ball hits the ground.
A 57-yard punt.
Whew, that flips the field for you right there.
Good work by Jensen Anderson. You can forget that 0-yard punt from the first half. The wind makes a difference, folks. We've been talking about it all night. Handoff. Trevor Roach goes right back to work.
Roach to the 25-yard line.
Pickup of 8 for the sophomore.
Really showing his versatility. Yeah, he's got a couple big plays where he's bouncing outside, but most of his work's been coming between the tackles, like you're seeing right here on the BCH instant replay.
And this has not been a game of stretch plays. It's been up the middle.
Yes.
And what a statement going against Hastings St. Cecilia, saying, no, we're going to go line of scrimmage. We're going to win the line of scrimmage and use a sophomore running back.
A lot of coaching staffs talk about establishing the run, playing to their strengths, but they get a little antsy, Michael, and then they start changing things up, working in some pass plays, trick plays, earlier in the game, getting away from their core offense. You cannot say that about Fillmore Central here tonight. They stuck with the run, and then in the fourth quarter, things started to open up for them.
Luke Kimbrough manages the first down, and every first down means several minutes can tick off the clock. It would be shocking if the Panthers went to the air at any point in the rest of the game. They're going to keep it on the ground, and that's what they like to do. Toss to the right side. It's Kimbrough again. Kimbrough hit hard after a few yards. It's Kissinger over there again. We'll give him 3 or 4.
You're exactly right as far as running the football, and I expect a lot of running from the Panthers, especially in this situation. But it was the pass that really broke this thing open and got that first score on the board. Might see another play-action pass if they get the right look and the right opportunity, maybe on first or second down.
Just 2 completions, but one of them a 36-yard touchdown to break this game from a 0-0 tie in the third quarter. Stasness delivered it, and he hands off. Roach breaks a tackle. Roach fights forward, and he's near the first down marker at the 40. That's a gain of 7. We'll give him 6, and it's not enough. Yes, it is enough to move the chains. A 7-yard rush on the 28th carry of the evening for Trevor Roach.
And Roach appears to be getting stronger as we get deeper into this fourth quarter. Makes a lot of sense for this Panther offense to just allow these stable of running backs to keep rushing the football right into the teeth of this St. Cecilia defense.
In my conversation with Coach Gabe Eberhardt this week leading up to it, we talked about the balance of his offensive roster. Here's Stasness on a QB sneak. Stasness, man, he doesn't like to go down. You can see why you called that on 4th down and goal, and he gets 4 yards.
170-pound senior showing you that, I didn't miss leg day earlier this week.
We were talking about balance because the 3 main ball carriers for Fillmore Central, the quarterback Stasness, the fullback Kimbrough, the running back Roach, each of them has between 500 and 600 yards rushing. This is not a team with a 1,000-yard back. This is a team that's been balanced rushing all season, but today they've decided to give it to the sophomore Roach 28 times.
Pretty impressive, and you can also speak to some versatility there, and that kind of gets lost. You think of versatility in offense saying, they pass the ball half the time, they run the ball half the time. No, Fillmore Central, they do it in a different way where they allow different running backs in different positions. You mentioned the fullback. Well, he's lined up as offset or kind of a tailback look a lot of times. So you're seeing versatility through the running game for this Panther offense.
And they'll run out of the shotgun. They'll do that split back. They'll do the I, and they stick with the I here. After the previous play went to Kimbrough, it's 3rd down and 3. Handoff. Roach hit, breaks that tackle, and slips free for a first down to the 50.
That second third effort. My goodness, Trevor Roach is having himself an evening here tonight.
And that elicits a big round of applause there from the Panther faithful, braving the elements to take in a classic football game on a Friday night.
I mean, I don't know how he kept his balance. You're talking about balance there, Michael, but he got hit hard at the knees about 2 or 3 yards into that run, but he somehow kept his feet, ran through that tackle, and just got the ball across the plane for that first down.
They stay under center with the senior quarterback Stasnis. Stasnis, quarterback sneak, gets a couple yards from it. That first down a moment ago there, Andy, that was the 12th first down for Fillmore Central. Only 3 first downs this whole game for the St. Cecilia offense.
It doesn't even sound right. When you're talking about the, Hastings, St. Cecilia and their high-flying offense and how balanced they are in the more of the traditional manner with, about 1,400 yards through the air on the season. It just hasn't been there here tonight.
A drive that started with 10 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. They've run about 5 minutes off of it, and they keep running. They keep running with Trevor Roach. He fights to the 43, 5 yards. It's third down and short.
All right, we got to credit these big fellas up front. That was Blake Nunn with a big block. Carson Ashley, we've mentioned him a couple times. He's been moving that line of scrimmage forward. And Kiffin Thoroughbald. We mentioned him on defense. He leads the team in sacks. He's also a fantastic offensive lineman. And, boy, they are really taking over here in this fourth quarter.
They're winning this game at the point of attack.
Exactly.
Third down and 3. It's a toss to the right side. And this time, penetration. It's Thomas who corrals the runner Roach back at the 46 for a loss of 3, and it's fourth down. And a timeout taken by Hastings St. Cecilia. But the Blue Hawks are on the ropes, down 2 touchdowns on the road. Can the Panthers close it out? We'll find out on NCN.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
Can't wait for our coach's post-game interview. That'll be coming up after this contest wraps up. Brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Will it be Gabe Eberhardt of Fillmore Central, celebrating a huge win at his alma mater in his 4th season? We're about to find out. Cade Cooper punts this one tails out of bounds at about the 20. A 10-play drive that took 5.5 minutes off the clock. It didn't end in points, but what a terrific effort by the Panthers when the other side knows exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, if you're a Fillmore Central fan, you're thinking mission accomplished, draining over 5 minutes on the clock with a long, sustained drive. Kept everything on the ground. That's just textbook football right there.
Taking over at their 16-yard line. The Blue Hawks need to find offense that's eluded them all game long. Chase Evans will have to make some plays. The senior quarterback with 4 wideouts on 1st and 10 with the wind behind them. Throws to Anderson. He hauls it in. Tweedy makes the hit. That's just beyond the first down marker, an 11-yard pickup.
And that was a really nice route and recognition that time from the quarterback. Evans, understanding that he had that bracketed coverage and the linebacker vacated and went to the underneath route, waited for that cutting route to fill in that void in the middle of the field.
Just the 2nd catch of the night for Jensen Anderson. That's something Gabe Eberhardt would be happy about for the Panthers. Terrific catch this time on the quick slant route. Dawson Kissinger hauls it in for a pickup of 8.
All right, now you're starting to see some tempo, some pace here from this Blue Hawk offense. These timing routes have been money the last 2 downs.
Diving effort there to get it to the 37, to the 36-yard line. On 2nd and 2, Evans wants to go to the air again. Still searching, running out of time. He's hit, breaks the tackle, cannot escape another one. It's Carson Ashe, plus a penalty flag, sits at the 28-yard line.
Boy, that was a long time. Credit Evans for keeping the play alive, buying himself some time, trying to keep his eyes downfield. But if you don't have an illegal man down the field as an offensive lineman, you might have a hold.
It's a block in the back. They decline it to the Panthers, so they'd rather have 3rd down and 9 yards instead of 2nd down and 20 or so.
And Fillmore Central going with a Tampa 2 look, and those safeties are real deep right now, being very careful, not wanting to allow anything over the top.
Chase Evans has been sacked or brought down in the backfield for a loss 4 times this half. Evans, Schaefer juggling. He held onto it into Panther territory to the 47-yard line. A pickup of 17 on 3rd and long.
What a catch for the junior, J.J. Schaefer. You mentioned the bobble. You're going to get a real good look at it here, but keeps the concentration, able to haul it in, he knew that safety was coming over.
Preston Comenda, the freshman, laid the lick, but it did not jar the football loose. Time the enemy of the Blue Hawks here. The Panthers rush 4. Evans, incomplete. Cade Cooper jumped the route, got his hands on that football.
Oh, Cooper did a great job with the timing, allowing the receiver to kind of vacate, and he just cut right in front. Whoa, I'll tell you what. That looked like a game ender right there.
1 interception for Fillmore Central. It was Roach who got it. A huge momentum swinger in this game when they were already up a score. Now they're up 2 touchdowns and trying to finish off the biggest win in maybe 20 years. Stiff arm, and it's not enough to shake the tackle of Trevor Roach. It's Roach again. He's everywhere. Offense, defense, whatever it is, he's making plays here on Friday night.
Boy, and Evans had the right idea, and that might have been a design run because they vacated everything. Had 3 receivers running routes to the left, had a vertical route to the right. A lot of wide open space there. Had Roach not made that tackle.
What a game for the 10th grader. Career efforts. Screen pass. Quinn Rosno has a little bit of room. Rosno out of bounds, stops the clock just short of the 1st down marker, or right short of it, about a yard short. Picked up 12, needed 13. It's 4th and 1. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Zollner Ford Lincoln, car dealership in Beatrice, Nebraska.
Going to call it 4th and 2 here. Big play, obviously.
The Panthers get the stop. They get the win. Rosno, the running back. The senior Evans at quarterback. Rolling left. Throwing. It's broken up. Luke Kimbrough got his hand in front of the pass and denies Hastings St. Cecilia on 4th down. And the Fillmore Central Panthers are in position to win this game, do something they haven't done in 20 years, and beat the Blue Hawks.
Luke Kimbrough, I mean, that is teach tape material right there. Had that right arm free over the top, and then with the left arm came down with the swipe, knocking that ball loose before the receiver could even make a play on it, Michael.
Fillmore Central going to try to run this clock out. Make a statement victory. Just a couple years ago, I watched this team play at Fairbury. They got beat by 4 touchdowns, and it was the only win of the season by Fairbury. It was not a team that could compete in their district, not a team that could compete at a high level. But a lot of these seniors right now were starting as sophomores. Right. A lot of them were starting as freshmen. This is the senior class that's been here with Gabe Eberhardt since he took over. It's his 4th season. This is his senior class. He's had them in there every year, and he's helped grow this team from being an afterthought to being a district champion.
Yeah, looking to move to 8-0 here, just over 2 minutes left to go. And, yeah, there's something to be said for that. When he took over the program, a lot of youngsters, right, freshmen, sophomores playing pivotal roles, and then they just carried that experience with them and really bought in. I listened to your interview with them earlier in the week and talk about how these guys didn't have to be motivated over the summer to get into the weight room, get into their playbook. They wanted to do that, and now they're really, starting to experience some of that success on the field. It's good to see.
And people were not paying attention to the Panthers in football for more than a decade until last year when they had a 7-2 campaign. The lone losses in the regular season, Wilber-Claytonia, Hastings St. Cecilia. They took care of the Wolverines in dominant fashion, 35-13 earlier this year, and now at home are poised to pull off this huge victory. A mild upset in the rankings, but a huge statement victory for an up-and-coming program.
Exactly, and a community, too. This is a big box to check here.
2nd down and 8 out of the St. Cecilia timeout. There's Kimbrough. Kimbrough keeps that clock rolling, fighting for a little bit more. No gain on the play. It's 3rd down, and another timeout taken by Hastings St. Cecilia.
I want to get back to something we mentioned a moment ago. I think it might in the last drive, the discipline from Fillmore Central and their coaching staff to play into their strengths, not get too antsy and do too many trick plays or try and get out of their comfort zone and pass the ball, but just lean on their powerful rushing attack. A lot of coaches talk about that, right? Be patient, ball control, lean on the defense. It's much easier said than done, but then to actually see coaching staff come together, do just that in the face of what you're talking about. This game had a little bit more to it, right? You're kind of slaying a dragon here in Hastings St. Cecilia, so you kind of want to get that score. Your offense is struggling. You want to make something happen, get a little antsy, right? Was not the case here for the Panthers of Fillmore Central.
You heard it in the
tick of the cap.
pregame.
Yeah.
Gabe Eberhardt, the head coach for Fillmore Central, we talked to him in the pregame. He said, our mantra this week, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Woo! Right? A little Ric Flair action there.
Stasnis stood up. Good pushback. And the St. Cecilia defense does get the stop with Max Rodriguez. No timeouts left, though, for the Blue Hawks. They will get the ball again, but it's going to take a miracle. This is a good St. Cecilia team. They're a one-loss bunch. They're one loss coming when they didn't have their full complement of players. And you have to credit the coaching job and the program building by Clint Head that he's had his team here in the top 10. They lost 3 stars last year.
Yeah.
3 players that went and are now playing at Hastings College, 2 of them starting. Jaden Laguna starts on the line, and making his 2nd start of the season at quarterback tomorrow is Carson Kudlacek. That's the type of players they lost from last year. A starting quarterback in college was their quarterback for several years. Now they have Evans, and they didn't lose much, but they are facing a team that gained just as much as they lost.
Well, and they were bit by the injury bug pretty hard. Coaching staffs don't want to bring that up and talk about that or dwell on that, and they don't do that over at Hastings St. Cecilia either. But let's make mention of that. They had some guys down at some key spots for that Kearney Catholic game.
But they have everybody back now, and Fillmore Central says, we don't care. Their defense has held Hastings St. Cecilia, who averages 365 yards per game, to 88 yards of offense.
Just mind-boggling. You keep bringing up some of these offensive stats. It's unbelievable.
You might have heard a bang in the distance. That's because the press box is shaking right now. They're jumping up and down in the stands. The community of Geneva, Fairmont, Fillmore County, all the folks here. This is the best football team they've seen in 20 years.
I was going to say maybe the fireworks got going a little too early here. We still got a minute left in the game.
Fired up to have a team in black and purple that they can cheer on into the playoffs. Made it last year. They're going to host this year. Down at the 39, 59 seconds left. Seen crazier things, but no timeouts. It's going to be a big challenge for St. Cecilia.
We have seen stranger things in St. Cecilia. I really like their offense when they move into this 4 wide. They got great timing between the receivers and quarterback. Here you're going to see 3 to the top of your screen, single set at the bottom.
Ball at their own 34.
2 safeties over the top. That Tampa 2 that we mentioned. Look here from Fillmore Central.
Panthers only rush 3. Still get some pressure. Evans tucks, trying to get out of bounds. Gets the first down instead. Charges forward for 12 on the scramble.
So impressed with what Evans can do with his legs. You can kind of tell that he might have been a running back, a tailback a season ago. He's got great vision when he decides to put his head down and run.
Cannot stop the clock. There's 3 to the wide side of the field for the Blue Hawks. Evans looking to the left, throws that way and left it a little bit low, trying to find Kissinger at the 40. The incompletion stops the clock at 33 seconds remaining on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
I think you could see what Evans was trying to do there, and that's throw Kissinger out of harm's way because you had a lot of defenders to the left and behind him. He tried to throw it a little short and lead him to the right, away from the defensive backs.
Desperation time for St. Cecilia. Evans skips that pass low again. It's incomplete. With 28 seconds left, it's 3rd and 10.
A couple more defensive linemen check back into the game here for Fillmore Central. I'm going to keep live bodies out there at the defensive line, especially when they're going with just a 3-man rush.
3-man front, 3 deep this time for Fillmore Central. Everybody backed off.
Need to go 55 yards for a score and then get the ball back and score again. Running the screen, Quinn Rosno has the first down, cuts back and loses the football. And who recovered it? The Panthers. Fillmore Central falls on the football, and that will do it. The Panthers will defeat the Blue Hawks. They forced the second turnover of the game against St. Cecilia, and they'll be able to kneel this one out.
Nice design play there from St. Cecilia, going with the screen pass, but you saw the pursuit, getting home, making a play once again for this Panther defense. Fitting way to close this game out.
You know who fell on that football? Trevor Roach.
What you said it earlier. What hasn't he done? Absolutely nothing. He's done it all here tonight.
There's the kneel down. And a round of applause from the Panthers faithful. Fillmore Central just did something they haven't done as a program since 2003. Beat Hastings St. Cecilia. They do it on a cold and windy night, and they are district champions, and they remain undefeated, 8-0.
Doesn't get much sweeter than that, does it? A district championship, as we mentioned, got to kind of slay a dragon, one of your rivals. You don't play them every year, but it's kind of a measuring stick. You know St. Cecilia is going to have a squad, and they pull it off here tonight.
They're flashing the lights. They're going to be celebrating here in Geneva this evening. We're going to be heading down to the field momentarily for a conversation with the winning head coach, a proud Panther alum, Gabe Eberhardt, and our player of the game. That's all coming up, plus your top plays on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
After 77 years of serving Lincoln, what else is there to say other than thank you for making our family-owned business part of your family? Save on new appliances for your home during Schaefer's 77th anniversary event. Get free local delivery and up to 36 months interest-free on the new energy-efficient Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid appliances you've been wanting. Schaefer's, your local, family-owned tradition for 77 years.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Carlson Irrigation, your Rinky dealer in Shickley, and by Fortify Group Real Estate and Insurance in Geneva, Shickley, and Davenport.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
A partner in your everyday. Since 1975. Woodhouse.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Hey there, sports fans. Looking for a winning play to make your game day complete? Look no further than Speedy Mart, your family-owned neighborhood convenience store. Score big with the wide range of snacks, drinks, and fuel for the road that will keep the whole crew cheering. And here's the kicker. Our friendly atmosphere and convenient location make every visit a slam dunk. So rally the family and head to Speedy Mart for the ultimate game day experience.
And welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska, where Fillmore Central has taken down Hastings St. Cecilia. Joined by head coach Eberhardt. Emotional game, big game. You sew up the district championship. What are your initial thoughts?
It's exciting. I mean, we knew it'd be a playoff atmosphere, and our guys stepped up to the challenge. We played outstanding on offense and defense with the win being what it was. Took out the passing game a little bit, but we still found a way to get our passing game rolling, and we were just pretty consistent in the run game, kept getting first downs, kind of worked some clock there at the end, and couldn't be more proud of these guys. They did an awesome job.
A lot of coaches talk about leaning into their strengths. If you've got a power rushing game, sticking with it. You guys did just that. What was your motivation to kind of lean into that here tonight?
Well, I think obviously the wind was a factor. The last couple of weeks, some teams have done a good job kind of putting a lot of people in the box against us, and we wanted to try to lean on the passing game a little more, but we couldn't do that as much with the wind, so we just kind of went back to what we know how to do and just run the ball.
Big time third quarter for you guys coming out at that halftime break. You did go to the passing game. That's what kind of broke it open, that play action to Cade Cooper. Walk me through that.
It was just a play we ran a couple weeks, and it's been open, and we've kind of missed some blocks on it. And our running back, Luke Kimbrough, made a phenomenal block on that play to stop 58 for them. He's a beast, and Luke made a huge block, and it opened it up, and we were fortunate on that play. It worked well.
What is this type of a win? St. Cecilia, they're kind of big time, but then you guys showed up, defend home field. It's late in the season. What can this do for you guys as you start eyeballing postseason?
We knew this was going to be a playoff atmosphere. I mean, they're a phenomenal team. They're a top 10 team. We're a top 10 team, so we knew we had to bring it, and nothing's going to change moving forward. We got to continue to bring it every week because the playoffs are around the corner, and we got to be ready.
And what can you tell me about Trevor Roach, tonight's player of the game, your stud sophomore, 132 yards on the ground, made some big plays on the defensive side.
Sometimes he does a pretty good job of playing older than he is. He did a great job tonight holding on to the football, running hard. Last week, they kind of took him out of the game a little bit last week, and this week he stepped up and did a great job.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on a big win.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, Trevor Roach, the big sophomore running back here for Fillmore Central. 132 yards on the ground. He made some nifty moves, but he also ran some guys over. What were you seeing out there tonight?
I was just following my O-line, just finding holes. I thank them for making their blocks and just going to the second level so I can find the holes. And I just want to thank my quarterback for getting me the ball and my center for snapping the ball, and that's basically it.
Your offensive line did do a heck of a job here tonight for you guys. That's for sure. Take me back to that defensive interception. What were you seeing? Because you timed that one up perfectly.
I was just watching the quarterback, watching his eyes, seeing where he was going with the ball, and I just took my drop and just seeing he was going to throw right down the middle and just put my hands out and caught the ball.
Now, you guys knew it was going to be a slugfest. You like to run the ball. Hastings, St. Cecilia likes to run the ball, but they're prolific. They got a lot of yards through the air. How are you guys able to bottle them up defensively here tonight?
I think the wind was helped us on our side and didn't really help them out on their side. I mean, they almost made one big play, but our defense really covered on pretty close the whole game, so I think we had a pretty good defense, outstanding game today.
In your mind, what does a win like this do for you guys and your confidence as you're just a step away now from the postseason, knocking off Hastings, St. Cecilia, defending your own home field?
It definitely boosts our confidence in winning the conference or whatever. And we have Wood River next, so basically we just got to let this game go through and worry about the next game.
Trevor, congratulations on a heck of a performance and a big-time win here tonight.
Thank you.
All righty, Michael, let's send it back up to you in the booth to wrap this one up.
If you're looking to be confident in the used vehicle you're buying, Midway's got it. Our lowest hassle-free prices every day on a great selection of Midway certified pre-owned vehicles. Buy confident at Midway Auto Dealerships in Kearney, Nebraska, or thinkmidway.com.
Do you know when the worst time to find out your sump pump isn't working? The day you need it. At John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, we're offering a $59 sump pump inspection, so you won't have to find a watery surprise in your basement after a storm. For just $59, our licensed and experienced service professionals will examine your sump pump, inspecting its major components, to ensure your sump pump is ready and working when you need it most. Hurry, this offer won't last long. John Henry's, serving your family since 1996.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports for highlights, interviews, rankings, and more.
It all started long ago, with cattle in mind, and it's still the major focus today of Powder River Livestock Handling Equipment and your friends at Valley Vet Supply in Marysville. They want to provide you with the best equipment. That's why they sell Powder River. It truly does stand the test of time. Powder River is a name you can trust. From cattle handling systems to gates and feeders, Powder River makes equipment for life. Come see for yourself at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping, star-studded evenings, and award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
We do have a makerspace. We have dedicated spaces for different groups. So what we're looking at in this room is the adult reading room. It's not technically a room that closes, has a two-sided fireplace. It's designated as the only room where things need to be a little bit on the quiet side. We have a dedicated teen room and teen study room. And we also have the kinetic technology room, which is also known as a makerspace. We have meeting rooms, different varying sizes, and those turned out to be very popular. With the gig economy, people coming in and work, everything is high-tech. All the rooms have the latest technology to do Zoom calls and things like that.
Thank you for joining us on this installment of Do You Know Nebraska, which was made possible by Crete Area Medical Center, Culligan of Crete, Crete Ace Hardware, and Ken's USafe Pharmacy in Crete.
Join us next time as we explore the state we call home. Do You Know Nebraska can be viewed by visiting newschannelnebraska.com.
A statement victory for the Fillmore Central Panthers. They move to 8-0 on the season. Let's see how it went down. Your top plays brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto, Grand Island's premier dealership. Beautiful Geneva, Nebraska on a horribly windy evening for football, but we have a awesome matchup. It's Class C2 top 10 opponents. Hastings St. Cecilia at Fillmore Central, and it's a defensive slog in the first half. Here's Fillmore Central. They go end around, and that's Cade Cooper with the football. He runs for 24 yards, the biggest play of the first half, and we're going to hear some more from Mr. Cooper later on. No points out of that. It's scoreless at halftime. Third quarter, first drive. Here's a handoff, and here's Trevor Roach. He's a sophomore, came into this game with 74 carries on the season. He carried the ball 33 times tonight, but not on this play. It's play action, and wide open, Cade Cooper from 36 yards out breaks the scoreless tie, and it's Fillmore Central in front. A team that hasn't beaten Hastings St. Cecilia since 2003. Throw over the middle, and Chase Evans, the senior quarterback, picked off. It's the sophomore Trevor Roach. He returns it into the red zone. Penalty takes him back, but later in the drive, they're moving, and it's 4th and goal from the 1, and the quarterback, Trevin Stasnis, breaks free from the tackle to reach the ball across the goal line. It's 14-0 to the fourth quarter, and here's the Blue Hawks. They're trying to make the comeback, and they get the completion. Moving the football to Jensen Anderson, the star wideout. Now Chase Evans trying to go again and find some more luck. This is in that up-tempo offense. Finding Quinn Rosno on the screen. The senior running back loses the football, and Roach recovers it. Fillmore Central can now ice the game and get the signature victory in the 4th year under head coach Gabe Eberhardt on senior night. The seniors come to play and defeat Hastings St. Cecilia 14-0. Oh, what a fantastic football game. Low scoring, but high in drama. And it was fun to broadcast here from Fillmore Central High School. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors who make it possible. Thank you very much to our fantastic host here at Fillmore Central. Thanks to the coaches for getting us ready. On behalf of Andy Klassen and our fantastic crew, led by Tyler Lechner and Danny Alvarado, I'm Michael Shifley. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely rest of your evening.